World War II, which lasted from 1939 to 1945, was one of the most catastrophic conflicts in human history, resulting in an estimated 70 to 85 million fatalities. The origins of the war can be traced back to the harsh conditions imposed by the Treaty of Versailles after World War I, which left Germany economically devastated and politically unstable. This environment facilitated the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party, who capitalized on national resentment, promoting aggressive expansionist policies. The global economic turmoil of the 1930s further exacerbated tensions, allowing totalitarian regimes to flourish in Germany, Italy, and Japan. In the 1930s, Japan pursued its own imperial ambitions, invading Manchuria in 1931 and escalating its military aggression in China. Meanwhile, in Europe, the policy of appeasement adopted by Britain and France in an attempt to avoid conflict only emboldened Hitler, leading to the annexation of Austria and the Sudetenland. The invasion of Poland on September 1, 1939, marked the official beginning of World War II, prompting Britain and France to declare war on Germany shortly afterward. As the war unfolded, it quickly became a global conflict involving multiple theatres. In Europe, the Axis powers, led by Germany, Italy, and Japan, fought against the Allied powers, including the United Kingdom, France, the Soviet Union, China, and later the United States. One of the pivotal moments in the European theatre was the Battle of Britain in 1940, where the Royal Air Force successfully defended against the Luftwaffe's relentless bombing campaign, marking the first significant defeat for Hitler's military. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, Japan expanded its territorial control, capturing territories across Southeast Asia and the Pacific Islands, leading to heightened tensions with the United States. The attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, catalyzed America's entry into the war, dramatically shifting the balance of power. As the conflict progressed, key battles such as Stalingrad and Midway became turning points. The Soviet Union's victory at Stalingrad in early 1943 marked a significant shift on the Eastern Front, as it halted the German advance and began a counteroffensive that would ultimately push the Nazis back into Germany. In the Pacific, the US victory at Midway in June 1942 was a critical moment that shifted the momentum against Japan. The Allies initiated a strategy of island hopping, reclaiming territories while moving closer to Japan's home islands. By mid-1944, the Allied forces launched Operation Overlord, the largest amphibious invasion in history, known as D-Day, on June 6, 1944. This marked the beginning of the liberation of Western Europe from Nazi occupation, as Allied forces established a foothold in Normandy, France, and began a relentless push toward Germany. As the Allies advanced into German-held territory, they uncovered the horrific realities of the Holocaust, where 6 million Jews and millions of others were murdered in concentration camps. This dark chapter of history underscored the brutality of the Nazi regime and the consequences of unchecked totalitarianism. By April 1945, Allied forces were closing in on Berlin from both the west and the east. On April 30th, Adolf Hitler took his own life in his bunker as Soviet troops encircled the city. Germany officially surrendered on May 7, 1945, marking Victory in Europe Day, VE Day. However, the war in the Pacific continued. In August 1945, the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, causing unprecedented destruction and loss of life. Faced with the devastation and the prospect of further annihilation, Japan announced its surrender on August 15, 1945, a day now commemorated as Victory over Japan Day, VJ Day. The formal signing of the surrender document on September 2, 1945, aboard the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay, marked the official end of World War II. The war's conclusion not only reshaped global politics and borders, but also led to the establishment of the United Nations, aimed at fostering international cooperation and preventing future conflicts. The legacy of World War II serves as a reminder of the fragility of peace and the necessity of vigilance in safeguarding democracy and human rights.